Hello, welcome to Elevate 2022. My presentation for today is integrate Twilio into your PowerBuilder application to send WhatsApp messages. My name is Filiberto Sosa and I'm a developer at Sizes and Colors of Mexico. Let's start with the presentation. Please read the disclaimer. Okay, let's continue with the presentation. This is the agenda for today. And first of all, okay, we are going to configure your account in Twilio, and we're going to show you how to configure the endpoints. Also, we're going to show you how to send your first WhatsApp message from PowerBuilder using the Twilio's API. And also, we are going to show you how to send pictures in your second message if the customer accepts to establish the communication. We're going to create the web API in C# that Twilio calls to give us the customer response. And for that, we are going to use Snap Develop, that is a C# IDE that Appian is providing for us. And also we are going to use the .NET Data Store, that it's a library also provided by Appian to allow us to do things faster and very easy. Also, we need another web API in C# that Twilio calls to give us the status of each message. And we are going to give you a demo. Okay, let's start. About myself, my name is Fili Sosa. In my recent projects, well, I did integration in my PowerBuilder application with Shopify and WooCommerce. Also, we integrated our application with WhatsApp using the Twilio API. And currently, we are migrating our ERP software from Windows Server 2012, Microsoft SQL Server 2012, and Power Server 2017. This is a software that we've been using for 14 years. And right now we are migrating to Windows Server 2022, Microsoft SQL Server 2022, and Power Server 2022. It's a big change for us. And it'll be very interesting, the final result. My key skills, I've been using PowerBuilder for 28 years. Also been working with Microsoft SQL Server for 16 years, C# and .NET Data Store. About the company that I represent, the company is called Sizes and Colors, and it's the Shoe Store software. Sizes and Colors, it's an ERP software for chains of shoe stores. We've been building the software for 25 years in PowerBuilder, and Latin America is the target market. More than 3,000 stores run our software on a daily basis. It's deployed to the cloud at a data center in Dallas, Texas, and we are 4 developers using PowerBuilder 2019 R3. In 2019, our customers in Mexico sold 80 million pairs of shoes, representing 30% of the commercial shoe activity. We are located in León, Mexico, and our sister company, Dora Sistemas, is the master distributor in Latin America for Appian. Okay, let's start. To configure Twilio's account, it's going to be very easy. You just open your account and you need to select a sender, or basically it's a telephone number that you're going to choose depending on your region, on your country. In this section, for example, I have 3 numbers that we use for different purposes, and they are from Mexico. Once that you have your numbers enabled, you can continue with the configuration. And the next thing to do is configure the endpoints. I'm going to try to go very fast on the slides to go directly to the source code and explain you so you can have a better idea on how this works. The endpoint, basically, it's that we need to create an API that is going to be called by Twilio every time a WhatsApp user responds to a message. the message type by the user in his WhatsApp is going to be sent to our system. So when the user types a message in the WhatsApp application, then Twilio needs to somehow send that message to our system. So we create that web API, and we are specifying right here, this is our API, and Twilio is going to call and send us the response. Also, we need to provide the URL of our API in the webhook URL for incoming messages right here. Also, we need to create an API that Twilio is going to call when a message changes status. So all the status of the messages are sent, delivered, and read. We need to provide the URL for API in the status callback URL right here. This API is the one that Twilio is going to call in order to update all the status of the messages. If our customer read the WhatsApp message, if it was delivered, the blue flag status you will see with this API. So we are going to create this API using in C# using Snap Develop and the .NET Data Store. I'm going to show you how to create the web APIs. Okay, templates for sending your first message. There are some rules that you will see in Twilio that it allows. So they care a lot about spam. So that's why Facebook uses third parties like Twilio in order to restrict the content that we send our users for the first time. So here you need to send the template that you're going to use, and Twilio is going to authorize. If they see content that is not appropriate, or you are sending information about publicity or anything that is maybe the customer will not like, so Twilio will not authorize. So this first template, it's going to be sent to the user, is the first message. And here you can put parameters that it's going to replace, for example, here, the name of the customer. Once that Twilio approves that message, then you can use it. Here is our application that I'm going to be showing you. We are going to send customers notifications when a new item is in inventory. It turns out that this customer maybe went to the store 15 days ago, and he was looking for a particular item that was not available at the moment. And after 15 days, they get the merchandise in the store. So once that the merchandise enters the store, automatically they will get a WhatsApp message telling that they can go to the store again, or they can shop online. Okay, this is going to be I'm going to be showing here the messages that I sent by Twilio, and Twilio returns an as in this SID message. With this message, we are going to recognize the message, and we are going to get the status received from Twilio. So we are going to know if the message was delivered, if the user read the message, and if the message was sent to the end user. And we are going to see here the message that we received from Twilio. So we are going to get here the customer responses, what the user types in the WhatsApp. We're going to get it right here. Okay, the first thing to do is sending your first WhatsApp message. In order to send your WhatsApp message, you need to call the URL of your API that Twilio is providing. So here's the URL of the API, and then you need to provide the WhatsApp ID. The WhatsApp ID, you can go into the Twilio account, and they provide this number for you. Okay, this is the URL for the API, and then you need the authorization string. The authorization string, it's going to be the WhatsApp ID plus colon plus the WhatsApp token. This token, you can get it also in your Twilio account. Once that you have these two items together, you need to do the encoding base 64, and you're going to send the blob of that out string in ANSI encoding. Once that you have all this information, you're going to create your HTTP client. You're going to set the request headers, as this is an application www form URL encoded. And the other header, it's the authorization, and you're going to provide the encoded authorization string that's right here. Once that you have this information, remember the template. Okay, that template that we have that was previously authorized by Twilio, we need to replace the parameters by the customer name and the company name. So we have two parameters in that message. So we are going to replace it with the customer name and the company name. Now we have the message just as the user is going to receive it, but we need to get also variables from. It's a WhatsApp number that is sending the message. So we have the 52.1, it's a country code and the WhatsApp number, and we need to encoding using UTF-8 and the URL encoding. So be careful here, because you need to put first the from and then the message encoded. After that, you do the same with 2. 2, it's the number which the message is going to be sent. So this is the WhatsApp or our customer. And we also do the URL encoding. And the body, it's the message. So the message that we're going to be sending is our template with already replaced with the customer name and the company name. And we are going to encode that also using UTF-8. And after that, we have the message encoded is going to be the result is the from plus 2 encoded plus the body. So we have the message that we are going to send. Continue with our code of sending your first WhatsApp message. We have the same variables right here, and we continue. We are going to call the web API. So we send a request using a post. We use the URL of the Twilio API that I showed you in the last. Right here, we have the URL of the Twilio API, and we are going to send the message encoded. The message encoded, we are providing the from, the to, and the body. And we get the status code, we get response status code. If we get the 201, then it's correct. So we get the response body and we get the JSON received. And after we get the JSON, we have this a library to handle JSONs. So I send this string to the object, and it's going to get the SID number. So Twilio responds to this web API, and we get the SID. So that's it. That's how you send your first WhatsApp message. Sending picture in your WhatsApp message. As I told you, we need to differentiate the first message and the second message. In the first message, it's when you first establish communication with your customer. But in the first message, you cannot send pictures. Why? Because first of all, the customer needs to accept the communication. Once that the customer accepts the communication, then in your second message, you are going to be able to send a picture. So here you have the from, the to, the body encoded, and you're going to add a new line that is the picture encoded. So you send the media URL, and you need to provide the URL of the picture. So the picture needs to be on the web. You just provide the URL, and you send the URL encoding using UTF-8. And now you have the message encoded. You need the from, the to, the body, plus the picture. And that's the only thing that it changes for sending pictures in your WhatsApp message. You're going to see that in the demo, and I'm going to show you the code in PowerBuilder. Okay, now after we send our first message using PowerBuilder, then we are, and the customer received that message. Now we are waiting for a response. And for that response, Twilio needs to call a web API. And that web API, we are going to create it using Snap Develop and .NET Data Store. So here you can take a look at the controller. In our controller, well, we are using a library that Twilio is providing us, Twilio Webhook Filters. Let me go ahead, Twilio Webhook Filters. So here we have our controller. It's Calzawatts is the name of our application. And here we have our API controller and the action. So we have our public class, it's a controller. And we have here the constructor of our controller. Basically, we are providing the service in which we are implementing all our methods. Now we need to create the method that, well, right here we are, that's a code that Twilio is providing us to validate Twilio request. So with this, this is going to help us. So the only entity that can call the web API is Twilio. So they provide a C# code in order to this to happen, but it's for your security. And this is an HTTP post. So the method is called insert response. So Twilio is going to call the insert to the response, and it is going to send me the body, the to, the from, and the message ID. And they're going to call our service, and the method in our service is called insert message. So the insert message, I'm going to show you also the source code. I'm sending the parameters, the from WhatsApp number to another WhatsApp number. The body is the contents of the response of the customer, and the message ID. Okay, it returns okay, and it is now let's going to see this code. Okay, in the service you're going to do the implementation of this insert message. So the nice thing, I mean, even if you are not a C# developer, you are going to understand these lines of code. Why? Because I'm going to do like creating a new instance of a data store. So that's what the .NET Data Store is providing us. It's tools that we PowerBuilder developers basically feel like we are in PowerBuilder, but we are using C#. So we create the instance of, we create a new data store. That's a variable. So that's a data store basically. And we are providing the data window WhatsApp responses. And here is my transaction object. That the transaction object is provided just when I call the service. So this is the data context, but the data context in C# is like that transaction object in PowerBuilder. Once that we create the instance of our data store, then we define an integer variable, and we insert a row. So this is familiar to you because you are inserting or adding a new row to a data store. Once that you have your data store inserted, then you do basically the set item to that row, to the from, and I'm doing the write. Write is a function that I'm defining right here. because Twilio is sending me this result in many characters, but I just need the last 10 characters are my WhatsApp number. So I'm using the right function to get the last 10 digits from the SID of Twilio and the set item, the response, and that's it. We just do an update and we are ready when Twilio calls this web API and just calls the method insert message. It is going to insert the response of our customer in one table that we are providing to them. So that's it. That's basically, as you can see, is not complex because you are basically feeling that you're using PowerBuilder to create this web API, but you're doing everything in C#. Also, we need to create another method in the same CalsaWhat service. I'm creating another method to insert that status. The status of the message is basically when you send the message, when you read the message, when you deliver the message. So we have the ID of the message and the status. So we do the same. We create an instance of a new data store. So we have this data window that has the WhatsApp status, and we provide the transaction object. In this case, in C#, it's called the data context. Again, you define a row, you insert or add a new row to that data store, and then you set an item, the SID of the message in Twilio, and then you set the item, and it's called read or delivered or sent. And that's it. We just update our data window, and we have the changes in our table. So every time that a message, it's the status of the message is updated, you see the blue flags in WhatsApp. So every time that status changes, Twilio calls our web API and let us know that the message has been read by the user, for example. So we have also the interface for the CalsaWhat service. Here is the definition of the methods that we use in our web API. So in this web API, I just have two methods. So this is our interface. So we have the insert message method that we pass a parameters like from WhatsApp number to another WhatsApp number. We have the response of the message, and we have the message ID. For the status, we have the insert status, and we have the SID of the message in Twilio, and we have the status. So that's everything for the C# web API that you need to do. Okay, let's go to the demo. And if we have time, I will be more than delighted to answer some of your questions. Let's go ahead. I'm going to close my PowerPoint presentation. And let's go to the source code. Okay, here's our application in PowerBuilder 2022. I'm going to go and show you my WhatsApp. Okay, in my WhatsApp, I'm going to be sending, I don't have any messages there. I'm going to go to my server. I'm going to run my application. This is the simple application that I've been creating just to show you how to send the messages. I'm going to first send the messages, and then later on, I'm going to show you the source code. Okay, first of all, I'm going to send a notification on inventory available. Okay, I'm going to hit here. So I have the first message. It sent an initial message, is 1. If I retrieve the information here, it tells me that the message has been, the status of the message is being sent. I haven't read the message. Okay, so once that I go and read the message, I'm gonna retrieve again to see the status. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Here is the calza what. I have this new message. As you can see, it replays on my template. Hello, Wendy Smith. We are contacting you from Sizes and Colors, the Shoe Store software. In your last visit to Zapaterias Alexia, this is the second parameter, you didn't find the product that you liked. So we have the good news for you that the product has just arrived to the store. Respond yes to get the information of the products and respond cancel if you don't want to receive any more information. So once that the user accepts the communication, it's when I can send pictures and I can send more information. Okay, so because I have just read the message, I'm gonna go to my application, I retrieve my status, and it says that the message has been read. Okay, right here. I'm going to respond to my message. Yes. Okay, I'm going to my application again. And I'm going to send the second message. Okay. That the second message was sent and I received 3 status. If you can see, I'm going to retrieve. And I have, I receive a message from Twilio and it's C because it's the response that I gave in the WhatsApp. So if you can see the status is being delivered, it's been sent, it's been read. Okay, here I have that the second message also has been sent. And let's go and see my message. So here's my message. So I got the picture of the item that just arrived to the store. I have the information, the description of the item. I have the price of the item. I have the address of the store so the customer can go and get it again. Okay, so that's basically the interaction that we create with the customer. And now let's go and see the source code. I'm gonna do another example here. I'm gonna start again. I'm gonna retrieve the information. If you can see here, let me go. I'm gonna close it again. I wanna do another example. I'm gonna just set my flags to 0 again so I can send the message. So you can see the response that I get. I'm gonna do a different response that I have. Okay, I'm gonna send, I'm gonna just delete the WhatsApp message that I have here. I'm gonna delete the WhatsApp message so I don't have that WhatsApp message anymore. I'm gonna send the message again. Okay, here is the initial message again. I have the retrieve, I have it's been delivered. Okay, it's been sent. And I'm gonna read the message. Okay, I just read the message right here. I retrieve, it's been read right here, perfect. And I'm gonna answer something different. Hello, friends from Elevate. And that's it. This is the response that I get. So what's Twilio doing? Twilio, it's getting this response, calling my web API, and inserting the values in our table. Hello, friends from Elevate. Okay. Here is a response that I got. Just to show you how we can get the responses from the user. Okay, I'm gonna show you the first. I'm gonna go just to my screen, main Elevate, and here I'm gonna show you the what I do. Okay, first of all, I have this object right here. It's not in inventory. It's where I have all my methods. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm gonna send first messages. Remember the difference of the first message and the second message. In the first message, I'm asking the customer if he wants to receive information from us. If he wants to receive information, then I can send a picture and I can send all the information. If not, if he doesn't, if I just send in the first message the information to him, maybe he can report the number, and maybe Twilio and WhatsApp are going to block our account. So that's why you need to ask. Once that the customer wants to establish the communication, then we have the second message, and we can read the responses from the message one, and also we can read the status. Okay, let's go and send the first messages. I'm going to go to I'm gonna send first messages. And here I have a database in which I connect. As I told you, remember that I have a template that Twilio needs to authorize. Okay, I have this template stored in a WhatsApp templates. Let's go to my table. I have my WhatsApp templates. As you can see right here, hello, and then we have the parameter number one, and that's the one that we need to replace with the name of the customer. We are contacting you from Sizes and Colors and the Choose Store software in your last visit to, and here we provide the name of the company. So that's a WhatsApp message. So the first thing that I do is that I get the template from that table. Okay, then I get the name of my company, and then I get okay, all the messages that I need to send. Once that I have all the messages that I need to send, I just call the message send message one to the customer. Okay, let's go to that function, send message one to the customer. And here is where I have the information, all the what I showed you about my that calling the Twilio web API. So we need to search, we need to encode the WhatsApp SID with the token, and then we need to encoding using base 64. And that's it. We create a HTTP client providing all those parameters, and then we replace with the template with the parameters, and then we do all the encoding of the from, the to, the body, etc. So we now call the we send the request post to the URL, and then we send the message encoded, and that's it. So that's how you call the web API. After you call this web API to send the first message, then what you need to, I need to go to my server where the web API is. Here is Snap Develop. So this is the C# editor that Appian is providing us in order to create web APIs. So I'm gonna get my WhatsApp. Okay, right here I have my controller. In the controller is where I specify the methods. Okay, here's the what I show you about my insert the response, and here it's where Twilio, it's, you know, we are telling that only Twilio can call this web API, and this it's calling this C# file that Twilio sent us. With this is the, it helps Twilio to authenticate, and just Twilio can call this web API. So after that, we call here our service, and in our service we have the method to insert the message. So basically here is in your controller, you're going to have the insert the response, and also we are going to have the insert of the status. Here in the controller, you have defined this method right here, but actually the implementation it's been done in the service. So if you go to the service, here we have the data context, we have the function write to get the last 10 digits of the WhatsApp numbers, and here's where I insert my message that you can see. If you're a PowerBuilder developers, you will not have hard time understanding this. Basically, I'm adding a new row to a data store, and I'm setting the values of the WhatsApp origin, WhatsApp destiny, the SID of the message, and the response, and basically I do an update. The same happens with the insert status. I have another data store so we can set the ID of the message and the status of the message. And so we have the service and we have the interface. In the interface, you basically, it's a definition of the methods that you're using in your web API. So it's Appian, it's providing you the .NET data store basically. So these implementations are very easy, as you can see. So that's the structure of the web API that you create so Twilio can call. So that's it for the web API. And let's go and see to the source code right here. This is how I read that. Let's go and read the status. I'm gonna read the status of the status. So I have here a data store of the status. And basically here I'm doing an update of that status. And if it's sent, then I'm updating the status that Twilio tells me, okay, this message has been sent, so I update this field. If the status is being delivered, then I update another field. And if the status is read, then I update another field. So that's basically what I do in order to send the messages. And I think that's it. It's very easy to send messages to WhatsApp using Twilio. And if you have any questions regarding our source code, I will be happy to answer. Thank you very much.